That's some good grass. It's almost like you can reach out and touch it. Maybe you should. Hi there. Long time no see. Did you do something different today? Because you look... I'm just kidding. You look fantastic. Thank your parents for me. But today we're going to be looking at some TikTok art tips. But just before we start, there's something I gotta let off my chest. So you guys know that feeling of when you start learning more about something and then you realize there's so much more that you don't know? I feel like I'm going through that with art right now. I'm learning more. I'm getting more inspiration from different artists. But because I know more, I also know that there's more that I don't know. So now I feel like I know nothing. So for this video, we're gonna try to keep a more open mind.
Do you want to learn how to draw? Well, go ahead and waddle your fertile over here so Daddy Ashy can impregnate you with some drawing knowledge.
God, are you aren't we off to a good start? That's a 0 out of 10. 3 art techniques that made my drawings better. Maybe you should make a video on 3 TikTok techniques. Show it to the last guy.
1 monotone filter. The character won't stand out because the color values are too close. I use a lighter background to make her stand out more. 2 constantly flipping the canvas. This helps me make sure the proportions of my characters are good and see my drawing in another perspective. 3 shadow before base colors. This is how I organize my layers. Start with shading everything on white. This technique helps me keep the lighting logical. Under the shadow layer, apply the base colors.
First 2 tips are great. This, shadows before everything else. Am I missing the memo here? Is this a common technique? Is this like what they do in anime rendering? For those of you who are weebs and draw anime all the time, please let me know in the comments. I don't know, but hey, 7 out of 10, good video.
Looking at heads, they are just an oval triangle shape. And I noticed by drawing an oval first, it makes it easy to add facial structures later. But here's some tips. For the nose, notice that it is the longest in the face, so it's gonna overlap the eyes sometimes. When the head is slightly to the side, the eyes are kind of curved and not symmetrical or straight. I think of it as the eyes of the Spider-Man mask. Ears position also play an important role to define the head tilt, and if you're a beginner, I recommend you go look for face measurements first.
Yeah, so like he said, you definitely want to know your facial measurements before you start doing more exploratory stuff like this, because you want to know where to put the facial features so that your character doesn't look like Sid from Ice Age. See, some of these sketches almost remind me of Cynic's drawing, so you have a really similar way of depicting shapes and focusing on shapes. Excellent. 8 out of 10. When you make a mistake in your art and remember your old teacher said pretend the mistake was a part of the plan. Oh, I see. I see. Look at the sticky notes there. I like that. You're incorporating the mistake into your drawings. You could also just do a self-portrait. Ooh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. That was a joke. That was the old me.
Why is there always a flat gray layer of color under the line art? You can use it as a sort of clip mask, so when you apply the actual colors above, they won't go out of boundary. The second most important reason is to make sure that when you fill in with a fill tool, you don't accidentally leave any empty pixel underneath.
I don't think I understood what the second point meant, but the first point, absolutely. You can use it as a clipping mask. Now, for the babies who don't know what a clipping mask is, it's really, really useful. Okay, imagine you have a layer and it's in the shape of my hand. Now I'm gonna put a second layer over top of it. If I set it to clipping mask and I paint on it, whatever I draw on this second layer would not exit the silhouette of my hand. So it makes painting inside of a shape very, very easy. Having trouble drawing hands? Always. Please help.
Let me demonstrate. Sausage, nugget, beans. OMG, there it is again. Let's use this to make one of our own. Fenced? What about like this? Well, that was easy.
This is good. Breaking down the shapes to try to understand the anatomy of the different components that make up the hand. But here's the thing, okay? If you're trying to draw hands simply and effectively, what you want to do is just have an understanding of the shapes that are in the hand that make up the hand, but try to simplify the overall shape of the hand. Because if this shape of the palm is already giving you a lot of trouble, then drawing 3 different shapes inside of this one shape is going to give you even more trouble. Remember, whatever it is that you're doing that you're having trouble with, try to simplify it. The simpler it is, the easier it is to draw. Master Wugwe. Don't quit!
The reason you aren't getting art commissions is most likely because you're pricing them too low. I know me personally, if I saw an artist offering $1 commissions, I would immediately think it's a scam. When you offer custom artwork for that low of a price, right off the bat, people are not going to trust you. But if you price your custom artwork at a standard rate, like for example, if this was a custom, it would cost about $125. people will take you a lot more seriously. There is an audience for every artist out there, and they want to throw money at you, so post your artwork every day, keep doing it, I promise you'll find your people.
Yeah, that's good. Honestly, don't be afraid to charge a little bit more for a commission piece if you're starting out as an artist, because your work is always worth something. This was good. Thanks for the supportive message. 9 out of 10.
4 tips for beginner artists so you guys aren't trash. Let's go. If you're trying to draw with your wrist, I will personally break your wrist for you. Instead, always use your arm because this gives you a much bigger range of motion and allows you to make much straighter lines like this. If you're trying to do line art and you're scratching at the paper, you're not going to get crispy lines. Instead, use your arm and use fast fluid movements until you get your line. If you think you can draw everything from imagination, you're trash. Don't know 100%, always use reference. Coming from someone who wants clout, never base your art off of likes. This will kill your love for art. So
Yes, great job, Justina. No, Justin Arts, my bad. You gotta use your arms, don't chicken scratch, reference when you don't know how something looks, and last but not least, don't care too much about the likes. I love that. 100,000 likes isn't worth a single like from you, yourself. You are all that matters.
I used to struggle so much with drawing eyes, but you wanna know what saved me? Rectangles. So many artists secretly use rectangles to simplify and frame the eyes into their art. Check this out. Just remember to keep the rectangles in perspective with the face.
Maybe it works for a certain type of anime art style, or if you want to draw like Kool-Aid. But I mean, if you're studying like an actual eyeball like this, you're 5 out of 10. A little bit too aggressive for me, but that's such a smart way to make your own little makeshift light box, and then you can do animation with it too. That's cool. Good job, Jane. That's a 10 out of 10.
Have you ever messed up in a sketchbook and you can't cut it out because you really like the art that you made on the back of it? Yep, that just happened to me. I was working on my Umbrella Academy gouache paintings in this Peachy Keen hot press sketchbook I got from Etcher Labs. I was adding Allison and Diego, and I think Allison came out pretty good, but I'm still a bit rusty with my gouache. Then came Diego, and after struggling with him for over an hour, reworking the painting, trying to figure out why it didn't look like him, I decided, nope, this just isn't working. So I began to remove the gouache with water, just wiping it away. As always, I was really frustrated that I couldn't make the painting work. But sometimes it's just not the right pose or photo reference or colors or composition. Sometimes we need to hit the reset button and try a different approach. Art is about taking risks, trying new things, exploring. But we also need to know when things aren't working so we don't frustrate ourselves trying to fix something that is unfixable. When this happens to you, and it will, be kind to yourself. It's all a part of the process of being an artist. Some days it works and some days it doesn't. That's just art.
Yes. Oh, it's Scott. Scott. That's so good. That's so good. I wish I knew this when I was like an art baby. I used to try to do this thing all the time where I try to salvage artworks that are just unsalvageable. So sometimes you're gonna mess up, but sometimes you also gotta move on. Great job, Scott. That's a 10 out of 10. We got 2 10 out of 10s in a row. Can we keep this going?
Drawing eyes might look easy, but it's not, especially when it comes to drawing the second eye. If you're a right-handed person, you tend to draw the right eye first, which might be the cause why you had trouble drawing the second eye. When drawing the second eye, it would be hard for you to see the first eye that you draw since the hand is in your way. So try drawing the left eye first if you're a right-handed person. You will be able to see what is the shape of the eye and will be able to draw it equally.
I think you mean the eye on the left side and not the left eye, because that would be reversed. Regardless, I know you're a little baby and you're just starting out. It's great that you're sharing your tips. And here's the thing that I want to share with you. When you're drawing the eyes, people always talk about how it's hard to draw the second eye. Something that helps me a lot when it comes to drawing the eyes is drawing both of them together, one after another. If you're going to draw the upper lid of your first eye, draw the upper lid of your second eye. If you're going to draw the iris of your first eye, draw the iris of your second eye. Make sure the things are moving together, because the moment you get too focused on one thing and then you move on to the next, there's a very great chance that they will become disconnected and your character is going to be looking in like 4 different directions. That's just my tip for you, okay? Great video. 1 out of 10. Bro, what is that? Is that a butthole? Is this supposed to be lips or a donut?
And I'm here to shake my butt.
Oh, people are giving tips in the comments. Okay, don't use the symmetry tool when you're learning. Don't use black. Yes, 10 out of 10 comment. I thought you were drawing a... Yep, me too. 10 out of 10 comment. I get that you're a beginner, but what is you doing? What are you doing? Be nice. This is beginner. What are you doing? Get out of here. Don't blur it so much. If you want to use the blur tool, put it on a lower opacity so everything isn't mixed into one color and it looks messy. Yes, don't blur too much. When you're just starting out, you're less confident, so you just want to blur everything together so that your mistakes are not visible. And use references if you're a beginner. They help develop your understanding of different forms. Absolutely 10 out of 10. Beginner speller too. What is you doing? Maybe the English isn't their first language. This is the problem with TikTok. Everybody's anonymous and it seems like everyone feels so entitled to be rude to everybody else. Maybe we should get TikTok banned, eh? Long grass. Okay. I think the don't looks pretty good depending on your art style, but sure. We'll give it a shot. Okay, layering. Different lengths, different directions. Ooh, a tall, ooh. That's some good grass. It's almost like you can reach out and touch it. Maybe you should. All right, so I learned about different lengths, different depths, different directions. Good, that's like a 7 out of 10. Is that real? Oh no! Oh! Kill it! Kill it! What are you doing? You gotta be kidding me. I would have smacked the life out of that. You shouldn't be proud of something you stole. Ooh, we have TikTok drama, guys. TikTok drama. Let's go see. Let's get some context. Ooh. Ooh.
Dude, what the f? Of course that's wrong.
That's
okay,
Tracy.
But this isn't. No, that's different. What you mean that's different? It's the same
Look, it is what it is, man. People reference images and other artists all the time, but if you traced over it line for line, that might be an actual issue. That's a good video, not spicy enough in terms of drama for my taste, so that's like an 8 out of 10.
You're not being rude by asking your artist to change something in your commission, I promise.
No, you are being rude. In fact, you're actually bringing dishonor to my name and my whole family line, so if you would kindly just not do that, that would be great. Just take it and go.
Alright, now rather commonly, I will have students present me with a figure drawing something like this as we are studying together. They will then go ahead and proceed to pull one of these maneuvers. Bam, 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 bam. They'll ask, Mr. Kenton, why does my pretty ballerina look like a dude?
Mr. Kenton, bro? Bro, look, I still don't believe. How old are you? You're like 17. How are you Mr. Kenton?
The biggest and most important one is going to be this right here. Here we have our two torso shape. 98% of you guys will identify this as a more typically masculine shape and this as a more typically feminine shape. Broad hips versus broad shoulders. There are exceptions to every rule, but it is useful to know nonetheless. Here we can see the two side by side.
100%. Generally, men have broader shoulders and narrower hips. Generally, women have broader hips and narrower shoulders. It's all because of evolution. Women gotta give birth, so their hips get wide to let the baby out. It's a huge baby. Just whoop. Great video content. That's a 3 out of 10. Normal? That's not normal. That's haven't had a good meal in like 8 weeks. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes it's easier to group different fingers together so that you create a more coherent shape. And it's faster.
Struggling to draw faces from upwards and downwards angles.
Oh, Lord.
I got a little tip for you. Check out where you put the ears. Here's normal guy face. His eyes and ears are level with each other. When his eyes go up, his ears go down vice versa. Here's one I made earlier.
Ooh.
I put some lines so we can see foreshortening better. When he looks up, his whole head condenses upwards.
Why is this guy ferociously biting his lower lip? I don't want to see this.
His eyes are up, so his ears must be down. Oh yeah, baby, that's better.
Yeah.
Let's try this the other way. He condenses downwards. Take note of the curvature. His eyes go down, his ears go up.
Great, simple explanation that sets the head into perspective. Good job. I'm gonna give you a 9 out of 10. You're losing 1 point because of the horrendous 3D model.
Real quick notes about perspective.
Okay.
Note 0. If something is far away from you, it looks smaller.
Yes.
Note 1. If something is above the horizon line, you look up at it. If something is below the horizon line, you look down at it. Example, the horizon line is at this character's eye level. We look up at everything above this line and down at everything below this line. Note 2. Remember that everything can be simplified as geometric shape.
Is that a box?
To trapezoids or cylinders are easier to think about.
So when you're trying to understand perspective on a character, using geometric shapes like a box is actually not that bad. But don't use it as a base for all your character drawings, please.
Note 3. You can get away with not thinking about perspective for a lot of drawings. Don't stress. Note 4. Whenever in doubt, look at references.
That's a 9 out of 10. I'm taking away 1 point because of that horrendous background music. My God, the whole time my ears were being violated. But otherwise, that was great. We're ending off on a good note here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully, they can get this app banned real soon so I can stop making these videos. Anyways, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with a friend so that they can lose their sanity too. That's about it. It's good to be back. I'll see you on the next video. Oh, my leg. Oh, it's falling asleep. Oh. Guess we're gonna have to sit here for a bit. So, how you doing? How's your day going? So I like just I'll just. Oh.